What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today we got something really special. So what you're seeing right here, this is the ladder for the Chinese super server. If you guys haven't seen the super server before, it's essentially a very short server that they put up that mostly Chinese players are grinding on. So you see it only lasts, it started on June 5th, it's only lasting till the 10th, though this is in China time, so I don't know how that rolls out to other time zones and stuff like that. But it's a pretty short, just kind of like grindathon and it only opens for 10 hours per day. So you have this 10-hour window where you just get to grind TFT on the super server. And in China, it's actually very important for things like qualifying to regionals. You can see the top two from Super Server literally just qualify to Chinese regionals. I mean, it's like actually kind of crazy. And then other people qualify to this tournament, the Super Server Clash, which is another way that will eventually qualify people to regionals. The other piece of it, though, is that it's not just Chinese players on this server. So we are going to watch YBY1 today, because you can scroll down and you see YBY1 here is ranked 17 on the server. Very nice here. If you jump over to page 2, just barely, you have Marcel P, who is competing as well. I know Bintum's also competing, but yeah, it looks like he's a little bit further down here. So yeah, you have the best players in China basically competing with the best players from other regions. So it's an absolute treat to watch. I love watching Super Server always. And so I thought, you know what? Let's watch some Super Server from YBY1's perspective. I do want to actually do a Marcel VOD review as well. He's streaming right now, but he's only played one game so far. I mean, he's played more games, but I think he's only like streamed one so far today. So honestly, maybe tomorrow will be a Marcel VOD review, but wanted to VOD review YBY1 because he's been doing very well. He's, as far as I understand it, the highest rated non-Chinese player on the Super Server, which is not surprising at all when you think about YBY1. I mean, yeah, this guy's pretty good at TFT in general. And we start off with kind of an interesting opener here. We start off with this Nitro opener. I will say I'm pretty much just a Nitro hater these days in general. I don't think the comp is good enough to get you there. Even though Elise is kind of a broken unit, I'm just not excited to play towards Nitro. But we are holding, you know, the pieces to it. And if we wanted to play Nitro, we could take Starry Night. We do check our Exotech here. No corrupted chassis, so we can't do any Vanguard Crest plus corrupted chassis shenanigans. That's what YBY1 was hoping for. Lethal rerouting, I mean, not the most exciting. Golden Ox Crest is kind of an interesting idea. We don't have any Golden Ox units, though, so you probably can't take this. Maybe if this was Wigwag, he would grab it, but we don't even have great Graves items. I mean, you can make Winsus in that comp and then move it to Aphelios later, but it's not amazing. So you really want to have Graves items here. There's a guy there who already has an Aphelios, so yeah, maybe, or a Marksman Augment, so like that's going to make them contest us, so yeah. I mean, he's looking at Starry Night for a second. I mean, I would just grab this Bramble Augment here and say, yeah, you know, it's a good enough Augment. That guy's already, I mean, yeah, there was a guy with Preparation who's maybe even angling into this comp, so we don't want to deal with that. Mace as well, not great either. I feel like I'd be forced to take the Thorn Plated, but he rolls it and actually gets rewarded and he gets something better here in 2-trick. Yeah, I mean, I would say the downside to Mace's Will is obviously you don't really have anything to slam. Like you probably want to slam Gwinsu's here just because it gets rid of your rod very nicely and then plays into the glove very well. And it's a good item onto Kindred. But then if you take the glove augment, then you're just left with TG slam. I mean, it's not amazing. You want to use this glove for a damage item. Thorn Plated, I would have grabbed it, but it's a safe option here. The downside is it doesn't have a great spot here. Like there's no unit to hold Thorn Plated that's very good here. You don't have a big 2-star tank. And 2-trick seems fantastic here. Actually gives us some upgrades to play around. We do actually, wow, we pick up an Alawi too here. So she can be our main tank here and then we can slam the Gwinsu and be very happy with it. And this is the other thing that I kind of want to focus on in this VOD is just YBY1's focus this patch on Econ augments and just in many scenarios. I mean, you see, we insta took that 2-trick there. We immediately took it, and we're actually gonna double level here very aggressively just to try to. We're getting Jin in here. It's a big upgrade on this board, but I mean it's a very aggressive level. But I think YBY1, I mean he's always been someone who likes this really aggressive style of play. And wow, it almost looks like he's team plannering out right now. I mean, he did team planner that board out. I'd be surprised if we actually end up in that board, but we'll see here. Just because we have this Gwinsu slammed, and there's not actually an obvious Gwinsu holder in that setup. You know, this Gwinsu plays a lot better into stuff like Vanguard Marksman, though. Because we took this Econ augment, we might not even be playing into that. Vanguard Marksman feels like much more combat oriented, but that is the idea. behind taking econ augments this patch, in my opinion, is that it's a very, I mean, 5 costs are just for so long this set, and especially at this point, just fantastic, right? If you can find Zac and get early blobs in any comp, you can win the game sometimes for free if you just get enough blobs for Zac. Obviously, there's Fast 9 AMP shenanigans, which we're probably not going to go for here with Guinsoo, but you can also do Fast 9 into like Urgot, stuff like that. It just feels like every single, like, if you could go Fast 9 every game, which is, you know, the only reason why we're not doing that is because you can't do that, you just be so happy with that. I'm kind of surprised he's looking at these other components. I feel like it's definitely belt here if we can get it. And yeah, I do think he wanted the belt there, but couldn't grab it. Guardbreaker, or it's Striker's Flail now, is just such a broken item that, yeah, I think we would have easily taken it there if we could have, but we couldn't get it. But yeah, I mean, I think YBY1, especially if we can keep this win streak, his game plan should be Fast 9 from this spot, because anytime you can go Fast 9 from an econ augment, you certainly should. This is why stuff like Birthday Present is so good. It's funny, I was actually watching Marcel's stream a little bit before this, and he was talking about high-end shopping, and he was like, you can never skip this augment this patch, just because, I mean, imagine you make it to level 8 with a ton of gold, and then you roll down, you find a Zac earlier, find a bunch of Zac blobs on 8, you find a Zac 2 on 8. Jeez, I mean, he was literally watching Bintum do, I'm pretty sure, exactly that. And, you know, you find a Samira on the way, you find Annie 2, all of a sudden you're stable. So there's just so much value in having econ augments. A lot of these prismatic econ augments, like Birthday Present, like high-end shopping, you're so excited to take. But YBY1 is actually getting not quite a prismatic econ augment here, but a lot of econ from the fact that we started the game off with 2-trick, and we are win streaking really, really hard here, 5 streak. We're also holding on to the jacks here, I think, with the idea of, if we don't win streak super hard and we can't make it to like a Fast 9 type dream, we can play for a Zeri MF setup here. We have the Guinsoo's made, we have AD, we have the red item from the Exotech as far as our damage item, so that's perfectly solid. Ooh, okay, so we do get belt here, but it is actually a question, what do you want to make out of belts here? I mean, I feel like I'd just make Guardbreaker, Gargoyle, but you could actually make Evan's Shroud here if you want to. It's a, I mean, it's a solid item, but yeah, I mean, I'm going Striker's Flail plus Gargoyle here easily, even though Gargoyle is not amazing on Bastion units in general because they're getting so much Armor Namar already from the Bastion trait. I mean, it's still, I mean, you're still a frontline in this allows, so you feel pretty good about it. YBY1 smart here, though, you know, realizes that, hey, this guy we're fighting here has 1 upgrade in the Poppy and like okay item slam on a Vagar, and we're already level 6. We have no need to just like slam here, so we can make a little greedy slam and look at augment here. Little Buddies, Portable Forge, Glass Cannon. There are a lot of good Portable Forge outs these days. I mean, they added a bunch of bad Ornn artifacts, but they also added some, you know, like a Flicker Blade here would be quite interesting. Little Buddies, I don't like Little Buddies in a spot like this just because you're really happy to keep win streaking in this spot here, and so I'd probably roll that, and I don't love Glass Cannon that much. We had Forward Thinking here, which, yep, I mean, this is what we're talking about, econ augment-wise, and actually, it ends up being a very tough choice for YBY1 because we have Golemify and Forward Thinking, both 2 fantastic augments in this spot. Golemify here, we have an Alawi 2, we have no Bruisers in, so I probably would end up leaning towards Forward Thinking. If this was like a 2-star Darius and we had Bruiser in, you'd probably just take Golemify here. But you do have very good, I mean, if you take Golemify here, you're going to be guaranteed to have a very big Golem. You have this Guinsoo's Made, which has insane synergy with Golemify, just because having a huge front line and then scaling up this Guinsoo behind it is fantastic here. So, I mean, I could see this being the take, but I do think, you know, talking about the rule of never pass up an econ augment, which, I mean, it's not a real rule, but it's kind of a real rule. I would still take Forward Thinking here. We've also already pre-leveled to 6 here, so we don't even, there's no downside to Forward Thinking. Obviously, the you know, slight econ loss, but it feels really good to take this here because we're already level 6. We don't even, like, normally when you take Forward Thinking, you're like a little bit upset. You're like, you know, I can't make it to level 6 and I have to sit on 5. But we don't have to sit on 5. We can literally be level 6 here. No slam here for Mr. YBY1 here, saying, I'm not going to make the Gargoyle Guardbreaker here because I don't think I can win this fight. This guy is just too strong here. I mean, to be fair, we have double econ augment. They had magic roll, which I don't actually know what it ended up rolling there, so I'm not actually sure if it was econ or combat. Has to be split here. You were splitting 50 days out of the week because you are so rich in this spot that you just want to deny other people the gold. Looks like a lot of people ended up splitting because we got barely any gold from a 50 gold split. Was that the whole lobby splitting, actually? Maybe. I mean, it's that was a lot of that there was very little amount of gold we got there. But in any case, it's kind of nice getting the split gold here because it allows us to make 10 gold here. Every single round that you're making a little bit of econ is a round you're not getting the big downside of forward thinking, which is obviously you lose econ. And we lose this fight as well. Kind of chill that we didn't lean super aggressively into win streak because we just rotated into like really, really strong boards here. And that's actually a really important thing to note there. He had Leona in shop and he didn't even hold it. Like he was not even looking at this Leona as a potential take here. And I think also it makes a lot of sense why we didn't slam the Guardbreaker plus Gargoyles in this spot here. When we're thinking from the spot where we are not going to play, we are just going to straight up play a fast 9 game this game. It's an AD fast 9 game, which means we're going to be playing towards Urgot, which means we're usually going to be playing towards Bruiser frontline. The Gargoyle is not a great tank item onto the big tank that we are ideally playing for this game, which is either Cho'Gath or Zac. And so like you really want HP on these units just because, I mean, Zac obviously Bruiser and Zac obviously Bruiser, Cho'Gath obviously Bruiser, and then Zac obviously gets all the blobs. So you want to build HP on both of them. You're really excited to build HP onto both of them. So you don't want to, build something like a Gargoyle. You actually really prefer stuff that gives HP, stuff like Warmogs, and then the Bramble and the like Declaw are, potential things that you can build. Stuff that, gives you HP, or stuff like Declaw heals you, all stuff that scales with HP. Gargoyle, I mean, it does inherently scale with HP in that you're getting resists, but I mean, if you look at the stats, the item's just not that good onto a unit like Cho'Gath. It's also just like Cho'Gath, you want to give him a little bit of time to just get a few ults off, so you don't really want to like solo frontline him, take all this aggro. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes perfect sense for YBY1, realizing this must be a fast 9 game. We took double econ augment, so why would we, think about making these slams that don't actually make that much sense? We also are playing for a fast 9 style board. And TG becomes a lot more valuable when you're playing for Fast 9 because we can hit, random 2-star Kobuko onto our board, throw the TG on there, and all of a sudden you are feeling really, really good. I will say our items end up a tad bit awkward here. You could go a Gunblade if you have to, though I'm not that excited for it personally. Is that a cat trying to scratch into my room? I think so. But she won't get in here. Well, we did end up making Protector's Vow here. Solid item. Gives you all the stats that you need on these units. Does get rid of the tier pretty nicely. I was looking at, wow, he's going to make the Spark here. I mean, it actually makes a lot of sense. This comp, when you're playing towards usually vertical Boombot, like 4 Boombot, a lot of your damage is magic here, and we are going to take another we're taking a few losses here. Now, double Econ Augment, I doubt it'll be triple, though. We have seen this before from people like Wage and Iverson. I'd probably just grab a Noble Sacrifice here and feel pretty good with it. Armor Namar onto your tanks is really good. Ooh, he's looking at, wow, he looked at Salvage Bin for a second. He rates Salvage Bin the best augment here. Interesting. I don't get that at all. I mean, I guess more items is never bad in a spot like this. You need to get to triple item Urgot, triple item Zac / Cho'Gath, so I guess it makes sense. Then we find support cash, and he says, we can take support cash. So many good options here. You can get like the unstable treasure chest, and that's items for everybody. You can get, I mean, in this spot, it's probably just the Eternal Flame because we don't have any heal cut at this point. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you could take something like a Locket, and just use it for extra frontline. And he is actually going to take the Locket here. And yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. I don't think you can actually go 9 here if you want to play fast 9 in this spot. You got to chill for a couple of rounds here. This is not okay, no flame to Kai Watanabe, but this guy poisoned my brain. I watched him go fast 9 one too many times. Also, what just happened here? Did we like lag out or something? Oh, okay, that's weird. I mean, he is playing, I mean, I guess Vietnam to China. Wait, what's my geography? That's not that far, surely, server-wise. So I don't think that's that much of an issue. But maybe a little bit of lag compared to playing on his normal server. But okay, in any case, I mean, this is a really kind of interesting transition board, and we'll see how much of this he plays. He was team planning out a lot of this. I will also say this wins the Bronze for Life award. Low key, we had Bronze for Life as an option this game. I'm kind of like, this board actually looks so cool. I mean, you can't play this board forever is the thing. Like, yeah, like we're gonna play Kindred and all this stuff on our board, but I mean, wow, this Bronze for Life board is beautiful. And yeah, now he's gonna team planner out this more kind of standard Boombot Fast 9 version of the board. Just want to jump back a little bit to take a look at it because, yeah, I mean, I think at max cap you are playing something like this. You can even fit like the Renekton plus the Poppy here if you really want to do something like that. We'll see how he clears out the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, just good units on a good board. You play a lot of 5 costs. are pretty happy about it. That's an Urgot on Carousel. There's also a Zac on Carousel, but yeah, that gets yoinked. So we do have to just grab the Urgot here. I don't think you can feel too bad about it, but it is going to be a level 9 roll down here. So I'm actually down to bring the playback speed down to 1x here for this because there's a lot that has to be done this round, and we are on probably not horrible ping, but probably not the best ping of all time. So we'll see how YBY1 does navigate it. Picks up the Sejuani actually, and yeah, immediately sells it. He's like, okay, why am I holding the Sejuani here? Also, he opted to skip, what was that? That was Aurora? Yeah, that he ends up skipping here. So why did we put this into Team Planner then? I mean, I am much more familiar with just like the standard like 4 Bruiser, 4 Boombot version of this board, but we'll see if that's what we're going to play for here, because he doesn't actually have somebody like Gragas into Team Planner, and roll downs like this are a little bit scary if you don't have them team plannered out, just because you do have the possibility of missing. And yeah, we actually have 3 Bruiser in on this board. We do pick up Ali Star here, which is nice. This will give us 4 Bruiser. And yeah, it was a pretty smooth roll down from YBY1 actually. It wasn't too slowed down by the fact that we were on pretty high ping. We hit pretty well, I will say. I don't think you can be upset at all about this roll down. And we found Cho'Gath and Urgot. I mean, to be fair, we had like 60 gold to roll, or maybe more, honestly, from selling everything. So, but yeah, now he's going to put Gragas back into the team planner. Makes sense. Okay, yeah, I was a little bit surprised about his direction that he was taking here, but I think this makes a lot more sense. This is kind of the standard version of the board. Get Mr. Graggy in here, and yeah, this is the board here. You can cut Vex for a Garen if you want to start farming Boombot mods, which are so broken in this build. So we'll see if we find a Garen. I will say we are going to get Sejuani stunned here. I think, okay, I'm not to presume that I am a better player than YBY1, because I mean, let's be realistic for a second here. But as if I were YBY1's coach, if I'm sitting here on the sidelines, I'm like, YBY1, you need to be better at not getting Sejuani ulted. Like, you need, like, why don't we just shift our front line in such a way, and then position Urgot in such a way that we're just guaranteed not getting Sejuani ulted here. It just seems weird that we would even allow that to happen. Of course, our board is so strong that it doesn't matter. Like, we can't lose with this board for a little while of like the next few rounds. But I mean, well, honestly, the next like long time here. But still, you gotta make TG here, and grabs another glove here to actually play for it. And did he put Vex back in at the last second here? Yeah, but we still have God of the Net in here. Wait, he cut Zac then, right? Yeah, he cut Zac. I mean, this makes sense, actually. Zac does not have that many bloblets at this point. We don't have Zac 2. Yeah, I mean, this is the way to do it, right? Just play this board for now. I do think once we hit Zac 2 and once we hit a lot of blobs, that guy is going to come back in here, and we are going to play him to roll here. I'm kind of surprised at the level of kind of like urgency that Mr. YBY1 sees here, because I really do feel like it's really not that urgent. I feel like we're pretty strong here, 28 HP. We are going to sell off Garen Perrin here so that we can make the Koboko 2. I think this makes perfect sense. But yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, to be fair, this guy does exist in the lobby with a Graves 3. And whenever you see a Graves 3, you can't be too comfy, because, I mean, this Graves unit just does unreasonable damage. Like, he literally just sat in front of our Cho'Gath 2 there with 4 Bruiser and just almost blew him to pieces. This is pretty rough, actually. This is not really what you want to see here. I mean, you can at this point just Bruiser. I mean, you can hold it for a little while, but I mean, you can Bruiser Zac. It's just you love the Boombot mod onto Zac is like the super dream. I mean, you could also, yeah, do this. I think this actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Bruiser the Urgot, and then you save the Boombot mod for, you know, Zac, when hopefully that we get it in 3 rounds, so that we can play for our max cap here. Because Boombot mod onto Zac, just get a super tanky Zac. He's got all this HP, which is reflecting into extra damage off of Boombot. I mean, it's just such a broken synergy, especially when you're getting all this extra HP from every single bloblet you get here. Last Urgot item looks to be a Striker's Flail. If we can get it, would be fantastic here. If we can't get it, we are going to be pretty sad, but we do get it, so we're not sad. Striker's Flail, so good on Urgot, just because he's going pew 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 pew. He's proccing this very often. Yeah, it's just a great, and it's honestly, it's just an overtuned item in general. They're probably going to nerf this next patch if I had to guess. We also do pick up the Vex 2 in this spot here. Honestly, I mean, you might as well make it. It's not that much of an econ loss, but I almost thought that he wasn't going to make it here just for the extra econ, so that we have gold to find more bloblets here. Our Urgot gets turned on here, but oh my god, this positioning ended up working out fantastically for us. Also, he's got this new Chibi Kale. What do you guys think of this Chibi Kale? I was looking at the cutscenes, actually. It's kind of nice. All right, pick up another full item here. This is QSS if we want it. I mean, you're not that excited to itemize a Garen, I will say. Maybe there's some idea of QSS Kobuko and then take item off minions, and then we can move the TG wherever we want. Like almost like TG onto Gragas and then QSS plus item for minions onto Kobuko. We do still also have the Zac that we want to itemize. So, hey, maybe we just hold these. I mean, Glove is half of TG, half of a lot of really good stuff. Cloak is, you know, half of Declaw, half of Adaptive Helm, like a lot of good items for Zac. We do finally pick up our Boombot mod here, and we're actually going to make this swap here. Yeah, so this is, in YBY1's opinion, the max cap version of the board. Just cut here. You still keep Techie in on this board, but you get to play Viego, who's a nice unit, and you get to play the Zac, and you get to play the Vex here for Divinicore. So yeah, I mean, I could certainly see this being max cap here. We pick up Zac 2 here, gonna roll down here, pick up so many blobs, looking for the Viego 2 if we can find it. Also just not even considering going 10 in this spot, I think makes a lot of sense here. Pick up the Viego though. Ooh, I think we were supposed to move TG to Viego here, right? I mean, maybe he thinks the Fiddlesticks is better, maybe. I mean, we're just going to triple item the Viego here. I don't know. Something feels wrong to me about this itemization, but I mean, it is. I mean, these items just seem kind of meh onto Viego. I feel like we must have been able, I mean, not that it's that huge of a deal, but I kind of want to go back and look at options here because like there was the possibility there's also like Krakens. Like I think we have so many removers. I think my dream here is move the TG on Kobuko to Viego, and then we go QSS plus Gunblade onto Kobuko, and then we move Krakens over to Urgot, or maybe GS or Krakens. Kraken's pretty good on him as well. I think that's my dream itemization here. Would be curious to see what YBY1 thinks about that swap here, but you know, it gets healing onto Kobuko, attack speed onto Kobuko. It's just blue buff QSS does not seem that amazing onto this Viego here. But yeah, I mean, at this point we've hit everything 2-starred, so we are just capping out high. I mean, the one upside to blue buff onto the Viego means he casts really quickly, and that's giving us a Marsh Shred onto our board, just making sure that that's hitting units that, you know, maybe Zac's not hitting. Though I think honestly we have hit the win condition for this comp, which is, I mean, this is what I was talking about at the start of the VOD. Remember, it's that if you get a Zac with a bunch of blobs, you win the game. I mean, that's just how modern TFT works right now. Current patch TFT, I guess. And so that should just be your goal in every game where it can be your goal. Obviously, some games you end up, you know, lose streaking, not having a bunch of econ augments, stuff like that. So you can't do it every time. But whenever you're in a spot like this, double econ aug, easy pickup for YBY1, and it allows us to go straight to 9, pick up this huge Zac. And I mean, what can people do? Literally nothing. I mean, look at the Zac. He hasn't even split yet. He has not split yet, and he's just like soloing out the entire board. And I mean, it's not like we're fighting weak boards. It's just that I mean, who can stand up to this? Last Viego item here, Death Cap, I guess, and then you can move the Locket over to Garen, put him in the middle, and feel good about that. I mean, that looks fantastic here. And yep, we just throw all these down, put Garen in the middle. I love it. We rolled actually an Even Shroud on our item from Viego. This is actually kind of sick here because this is, yeah, Armor Shred. You want to put it same side as the Urgot here. This is because we're lacking Armor Shred right now, though. I mean, like, look at this. This is a 4 Marksman board. They have Marksman MF on their board. I mean, their board doesn't suck, but I mean, compared to us, it's not even close. And they also have last Econ Augment. Though, to be fair, we have 2 Econ Augments, but it's light work to cap out the board here. All right, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, as always.